Yes, ma'am. Attendees are there.
Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
Hello.
yes, Vandana ji.
May I? Yeah.
Yes, Dr.
May I
Vandana.
audible? May I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am. You
Yes,
are
yes, you
audible.
are.
Okay. Okay. A very good evening, one and all. I welcome you all in today's NDL webinar. The National Digital Library of India is a national mission project initiated by the MHRD and coordinated by IIT Kharagpur. It is a digital repository containing textbooks, article, video, audiobooks, lectures, simulation, fiction, and all other kind of learning media. The NDLI provide free of access to many books in English and Indian language also. Today, we are organizing webinar on NDLI and NDLI club activity. Before proceeding with the session, I would like to give a brief introduction of today's guest. Dr. Vignesh is currently the Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, National Digital Library of India. He is also the founder of Brilliant IAS Preparer, a mobile-based low-cost training solution for the civil services aspirants. Earlier to this, he worked with the Indian Public Library Movement and CSC E-Governance Services India Limited. Dr. Vignesh has managed large development projects like National Digital Literacy Mission, Cybergram Yojana, e-inclusion, IT training for rural SC/ST women beneficiaries, e-Vidya innovative project for rural women, women digital literacy project, child labor family linkage, financially literacy and investor awareness, legal literacy, tele-ophthalmology, digital diagnostic kits and telemedicine centers. He has also conceived and implemented many innovative ICT-led policy initiatives for promoting inclusive growth in the rural parts of India. Dr. Vignesh holds a Doctor of Philosophy from the Center for the Study of Law and Governance, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, with a Master in Public Management. He has been actively participating in various international forums like United Nations General Agreement on ICT 4D, Internet Governance Forum, e-Asia, Internal Telecommunication Union, e-India, etc. Now I would request Dr. Vignesh to proceed with the presentation. Dr. Vignesh. Hello.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Vandana. Thanks to MIT Academy of Engineering for inviting us to conduct this webinar for your students and faculty members. A very good evening to everyone. My name is Vignesh, from the National Digital Library of India team. So before we get into the presentation, I have a small uh, I wanted to share a brief introduction or a background about why NDLI and how was it conceived and what is the purpose, objective, and all. So the idea of NDLI was came in the mind of few people, academic people who were in a meeting with the then HRD minister regarding procuring and improvising the library resources in their respective libraries. So the question then was, almost all the centrally funded institutions were procuring same set of publication materials or resources from the same publishers at different costs, and it was amounting to around anywhere between 200 to 300 crore rupees. So that was the kind of, each institution was spending anywhere between 20 to 25 crore rupees for procuring these resources. And the disadvantages, these resources, once it is procured, it is available only for the participants of that institution, say students and faculty members of that institution only can access that resources. So that is when the government of India thought that we need to collate all the knowledge resources that are available, to begin with, at least the open and non-copyrighted resources that are available in the open public domain. So that is when the National Digital Library of India was conceived. So the program was started in 2016 as a pilot program. So when we started, we were very small. We had very few lakh resources and very few thousand users. And gradually, the number has increased. And today we have closer to 4.78 crore resources in almost all the disciplines. And currently, the primary resources are available for technology, science, and uh, primarily these are the resources that are available, dominating the entire resources. So why digital library? So we can start from the today's situation. So when the lockdown has happened, uh, the physical libraries are closed, and the availability of resources, the the library resources have become limited, and there was a need for a digital resources. So even before the situation came in 2016 itself, NDLI was conceived and started, and followed by that. So when we go to a physical library, say for example, in most of the libraries, the challenges are when you go and access a good resource prescribed to your faculty. In most of the institutions, these resources might be issued to a faculty member. Say my personal example is like one of my faculties recommended a book on good governance. So we went to the central library, we looked for that resource, and surprisingly, that was not surprisingly, that the book was issued to a faculty member, and that faculty member renewed it for 14 days, and he kept renewing it for almost 4 months. And that's the privilege of working as a faculty in a good reputed institution. So you get a number of uh, renewals. So finally, we had to go to the faculty and ask him to give you the book so that you can make a photocopy and then use it. So that is how one disadvantage of a physical library. And the second disadvantage is, you go to the library, the book may be available in the library. You go to the so and so section, you go to that rack, except that one resource, except that one book, you will find all the other books in the library, because one brilliant student, uh, he thinks that that is his possession, so he may keep it in keep it somewhere where nobody else can identify that, locate that resource. That's a second case. And the third situation is, you go to the library, you find it in the pack, you go to the section, the book is available, but when you look for a specific chapter, that specific chapter might be torn off, or it might be underlined, or with a pencil or a pen, so it may go wasted. So this is when the digital library comes in handy, wherein you can use these resources, the same resources, thousands and thousands of times, any point of time, without having to worry about who has been issued or not, and without having to worry about whether it's been underlined by somebody or not. So it's giving multiple uh, facilities and opportunities for people to access the resources. So with this background, let's now start the presentation. So is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm moving ahead. So what is the objective of today's session? So let's see who is this NDLI for, and what kind of content we have at NDLI, how to access NDLI, and what's the difference between Google and NDLI, and then how to operate NDLI club in your own institution. So as I mentioned, today's young generation needs quality knowledge resource for anyone, anytime, anywhere. And that's the objective of NDLI as well. So what is the perspective of NDLI? So if you look at the India map, except very few states, like Kerala, Goa, Tripura, the literacy level in rest of the states is less than 80%. That means this is the official figure. And in order to address, and also every month, 1 million people, that is 10 lakh people are turning 18 years. That means they are getting into the higher education domain. So if we have to address this educational requirement of 1 million people, India needs 6 universities and 270 colleges every month to address this educational requirement. And creating an educational institution is the sustenance of these institutions are very tough. So that is when the government of India looked at having various digital solutions which are sustainable and usable for a very long time. So they envisaged NDLI is one of those initiatives. Apart from this, where there are about other initiatives, Swayam Prabha, NPTEL. So these are all supplementary and complementary learning resource materials that are disposal of the learners. So NDLI was formally dedicated to the nation on 19 June 2018 by the then HRD Minister, Sri Prakash Javadekar. And let's see who is this for. So NDLI is meant for everyone. It's meant for school-going students, college-going youths, researchers, academicians, entrepreneurs, lifelong learners. Anybody who is interested in learning can use NDLI. And who are the content contributors? So basically, NDLI is an integrator, content integrator. We don't create content, right? We collaborate with partners, like-minded institutions to collate the content. Say, for example, if MIT AOE is interested in sharing their knowledge resources, like their faculty publications or student publications, into the entire country, so they can actually become a content collaborator with NDLI, and then they should share their resources uh, uh, with their own publications. So that is something that they can do. So similarly, what we have done is we have collaborated with 251 such content partners, not only in India but outside of India as well. So what type of content is available? So this we have classified as per DDC. So DDC stands for duodecimal classification. This is one form of classification under the library and information science domain, right? So computer science, information and general works, we have about 99 lakh resources, and then followed by technology, we have around 1 crore resources. Natural sciences and mathematics, 83 lakhs. Social sciences, 45 lakhs. And then we have philosophy and psychology, 5 lakh. Religion, 2 lakh. Language, 1 lakh. Arts and fine arts, 4.5 lakhs. Literature and rhetoric, 7.8 lakhs. History and geography, 6.12 lakhs. So this is the kind of resources we have. So who are those top 20 content contributors? So World eBook Library is the top content contributor with 77 lakh resources. So Government of India has procured national license from World eBook Library, which means the government has procured a licensing fee on behalf of the Indian citizen. So any Indian citizen can access World eBook Library at free of cost. And we have like sites here, PubMed Center, like IEEE, we have only the metadata. We don't have the full text. And what type of content we have? We have video lectures, we have books, we have articles, we have term papers, assignments, assessments, question banks, data sets, manuscripts, paintings, annual reports, thesis, dissertation, you name any form of educational resource, it's available at NDLI. And what article is the topmost type of content we have? Article is around 2.95 crore. Books are around 63 lakhs. Reports around 12 lakhs. Notes 11 lakhs. Law acts 8 lakhs. Law judgments 8 lakhs. Technical reports 7 lakhs. Thesis 6.4 lakhs. Historical record 5 lakhs. Video lectures 3.6 lakhs. And we have access options. One green lock open means it's a full text available, and one rectangle box with National Digital Library of India written there, it's also full text access, and the rest of them are limited access, subscribed or restricted. So if you want full text access, what you need to do is in the filter options, you have to click on the open and NDL users. You will get only full text resources. So as I earlier mentioned, we have closer to 4.78 crore resources, out of which 3.6 crore resources are full text resources. Full text means you can actually download these resources and use it for educational purposes. Okay, so this you need to remember. So there are some resources like IEEE, we only Springer, we only have metadata as of now. We don't have full text. So that may come under subscribed resources. Now let us see how to use NDLI from your desktop or mobile phone. So if you are also using a desktop or a mobile phone, you can also try as I speak. So use your browser, whatever browser you feel you are comfortable with, whether it's a Google or a Chrome or your mobile browser, whichever you feel comfortable. Go to your browser and search for a National Digital Library of India. Right, National Digital Library of India. The first URL which you will get is our URL. So you will get ndl.iitkgp.ac.in or ndl.gov.in. So these two, both the URLs work. So you can go to both any of those URLs. So this is how our homepage looks like. So our team in this time of lockdown, our team has further classified the resources into various educational levels like schools, UG engineering, UG science, UG other disciplines, language, management, and law. So what I did, what you need to do is, in order to search, you click on this search icon and then type the search topic which you wanted to search. So what I did was I typed for a topic called Marathi literature. Okay, and then I clicked on search, and what I did was I applied a filter called language. So I wanted this literature in Marathi only. So what I did was I clicked on Marathi. So I got 3054 results on Marathi literature in Marathi language. And then I searched for a term called Java programming. Okay, so here what I did was I wanted only from the subject domain of computer science and technology. So what I did was went to subject category and I clicked on computer science and technology, and there are about 3197 results on Java programming. And the next topic I searched for is called artificial intelligence, and I applied 3 filters. One is access restriction. I wanted only full text resources, and then I wanted subject category of computer science and technology, and then I wanted from a source called MIT OpenCourseware. MIT stands for Massachusetts Institute of Technology. You can download the OpenCourseware resources which are being uploaded by MIT. So we got artificial intelligence. We got 64 results on artificial intelligence from MIT OpenCourseware. And the next topic I searched for is called engineering mechanics. So here I looked for an author called Sudarshan Iyengar. So I clicked Sudarshan Iyengar. I got 862 results on engineering mechanics. And the next topic I searched is called construction techniques. Here I wanted resources only for UG and PG. So I went to educational level and I clicked for UG and PG. Okay. And the next topic I looked for is called machine learning. And I wanted only thesis available on machine learning. So what I did was went to source. There is something called InfluBNet Shodhganga. So Shodhganga is a repository of theses that are being submitted to universities across the country. So it's a repository of thesis, whereas Gangotri is called the dissertations. So there are theses available on machine learning. And then I searched for a very basic topic called algebra and calculus, and I wanted only open and NDLI resources. Okay. Now let us look at the resources which are specifically related to UG engineering. So what I did was So if suppose if we want to look at only UG related UG engineering related materials, go to home page and click on this Corona outbreak study from home. Once you click, this window will appear. So what you need to do is click on UG engineering. Once you click, this is how the tabs will open. So what you can do is further narrow it down yourself. So click common subject for the engineering subjects: aerospace engineering, architecture, chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science engineering, electrical engineering, electronic communication engineering, mechanical engineering, mining engineering, ocean engineering, and technical engineering. So we have these many subject resources with us. Say for example, what I wanted is computer science and engineering. So I clicked on computer science and engineering. It showed me books from OpenStar ONX, books of World eBook Library, presentations, science super course, video lectures and notes, MIT Open Coursera, video lectures and web courses from NPTEL, videos, World eBook Library, and then video lectures from Spoken Tutorial. Okay, now let us see how to open and use a resource. So here I searched for a term called human resource management. Okay, and I clicked on I applied for a filter called subject category technology, institution open and detail, and I want PDF file. So what we do file format and the so it gives me 7 lakh resources on human resource management. Suppose if I want to open this first resource, okay, I just have to click here. Once I click, this is how the page will open. So on the top you have two tabs. One is called content, another one is called metadata. So metadata is nothing but data about data. That is, in crude way, it's a basic information about a resource is called metadata. Like who is the author, where is the source coming from, who is the publisher, what is the file format, what language, subject domain, subject keyword, educational use, and access restriction. So this is called metadata. Suppose if you find this resource useful, you can actually download it by clicking on content. So once you click on content, and if you are already logged in, you can actually, the entire material will come down to your mobile phone or to your desktop. Suppose if you are not registered, or if you are not logged in using your username and password, what you will get is you will get a icon saying that login to view content. So there you need to, if you are already registered with NDLI, put your username and password and then you can download. Or suppose if you are not registered, there is an icon called sign up. Below the username and password, you will see an icon called sign up. Click that sign up, and there is a registration form which is available. You just have to fill the basic details about you, submit, you will get a verification email, verify that email, and then you are all set to go. You can log in with your username and password. Suppose if it's a video lecture, this is how it will open. So there are some filter options. So for using NDLI, it's very simple. You have to first go to Google, search for a term called National Digital Library of India, open the URL which is ndl.iitkgp.ac.in or ndl.gov.in. Once you go to the home page, you look for the search bar and then type your topic. So there you need to remember that spelling. If you make a spelling mistake, your results will be different. So kindly remember the spelling and then type. And then the next, for narrowing down the results, what you need to do is apply the filters. So I'm going to talk about very few filters which are very important. First filter is access restriction. Suppose if you want only full text, what you need to do is click on open and NDLI. Then you will get only full text resources. Okay. And the second filter we are going to look at is author. So give the search key and then look for the author who are there in your subject. Okay. And then click on this author, then you will get the relevant material from that author. And the third important filter is subject category. Okay, so here you need to remember which for technology related, it's technology and computer science, information and general works. So this will come under these two domains only. And the fourth filter is about learning resource type. what type of learning resource type you want, whether you want an article or you want a book or you want a thesis or you want a video lecture or you want an audio file. So you can search for the type of learning resource and then choose. And the fifth important filter is source, from whom you want the content from. Suppose if you want content from only MIT open courseware, type here only MIT open courseware will come. Suppose if you want only resources from say Inflipnet Shodhganga, you will get only thesis. So you have to search for resources. So if you want to search resources by source, then you can do that also. And the last filter, important filter, is on the right hand side you will see a content type filter, which is to easily navigate to the content type which you want. So you can choose a presentation, audio, video, images, text, application, and animation. So out of which you just have to click and then you will get the relevant resource type. I already mentioned to you about the access option. Suppose if the lock is open, it means full text. Similarly, rectangle box with the National Digital Library of written on it is also full text. You will get the entire content for. Remember, this is primarily for educational purposes. It is not allowed to use for commercial purposes. And the entire interface is available in various Indian languages also, starting from Hindi, right? Bangla, Gujarati, Kannada, Marathi, Oriya, and Tamil. So what you need to do is go to that language tab on the top, choose the language which you want to use the interface from, and then you are all set to go to use the same interface in your own local language. And similarly, to make it more interesting for the young learners, we have created mobile apps both in Play Store, Android, as well as in iStore. So you can download iOS as well Android and iOS apps. So you can download and use the apps. So I will show you how to use the Android app. So go to Play Store and then search for National Digital Library of India. The first so this is how the icon looks like. So you look for this icon and then download and then open this URL. So this is how the home page of the Android app looks like. Suppose here you want to search. What you have to do is there is a search icon on the top. So click on the search icon. Once you click, you will get a search box here. Okay. So and then search. So here what I did was I searched for a topic called Uttar Pradesh. Okay. And then click enter in your keypad, and then the list of results come. Suppose if you want to filter, then how you have to do in the app is click on this orange color icon. So this is the filter icon here in the mobile app. So once you click, this filters, all the filters which we saw in the desktop will come here. So you have to go to narrow down to your relevant filter. You can scroll on the top. So what I applied for, look for a filter called source, and then I wanted resources only from Aligarh Muslim University. So I chose this Aligarh Muslim University and then clicked apply. So then I got results from Aligarh Muslim University only. Okay. So before we go to the next few slides, I want you to take 5 minutes of your time and go to Play Store. Kindly download NDLI mobile app from the Android Play Store or from iStore, and then look for the topic which is relevant to your subject domain, and then put a chat message whether it is useful for you or not. So kindly take 5 minutes of your time and then give me your feedback in the chat. After 5 minutes, we will resume the session. Okay. So Ms. Vandana, is that fine?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. So take 5 minutes and then give me your feedback.
हाँ बोल. Hello. Hello. Hello, Dr. Vignesh. Hello, Dr. Vignesh.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sir, please continue with next slide, sir.
So the purpose is to see whether they are able to download and use it. Are they not doing it?
Okay.
Are they doing it or no?
Sir, I don't know participants are downloading or not.
So I've just sent a message to all of you. Have you downloaded the NDLI mobile app? If yes, kindly put an yes in the chat window.
Okay.
Sir, others are replying that they are downloading in process.
Okay.
Sir, it is in process now.
Okay. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes.
Some has already downloaded.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, one question is there.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Can we
Yeah.
get recording of this presentation?
So I have to ask Miss Vandana. So she is the one who is hosting it. So you have to reply to them. Even
Yeah,
I'm
sir,
depending on.
definitely we will. Definitely we will provide.
But if you give it to us, then we also upload it on our website with your institute name. We upload the entire video on the our YouTube channel as well. So you can download it from our YouTube channel.
Okay, okay. So for that, first I talk to our director, sir, and then I forwarded it to you, sir.
Yeah. But we need it for our
Yeah,
recording reporting purpose. So kindly do it
sure,
at the earliest. We do
sure,
it
sure.
normally do it on the same day so that students get access.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So should we begin? Are they all have they all downloaded? Should we begin the session?
Yeah, sir. Please continue.
Okay. So now let us see what is the major difference between Google and NDLI. So I will give you with a small example. So imagine there is a girl called Payal who is studying in class 8 and she is from Hindi medium. And then another guy called Shamik, he wants to pursue his PhD in the topic of magnetism. So, okay. So both of them go to Google and search for a term called magnetism. And they got 2.49 crore results on the topic of magnetism. And they also use NDLI app. They come to NDLI and then they searched for a term called magnetism and they got 4.19 lakh results. And what Boyle did is she went to the educational level filter and then chose for 5th to 8th standard. And then she applied for a language filter called Hindi. She got 56 results. And what Shamik did is he wanted only career and technical papers. So he got 219 results. Okay. So imagine where is 2.49 crore and where is 219 results. So that's the beauty of it. So we are not competitors to Google. Google is a brilliant giant. We don't have any competition to Google, but Google has its own limitations as well. Say for the moment you put a keyword, what it says is like it says and looks for wherever this keyword is there, it will fetches the results. And Google can't distinguish between whether it's coming from an authentic source or an unauthentic source, whether it's a fake information or a correct information. It fetches everything that is available on the World Wide Web, whether it's relevant or irrelevant. So it fetches all the materials which are available on the World Wide Web. Whereas NDLI, we have curated educational content only. So these are all educational materials curated and coming from a reliable educational partners. And that is the major difference between Google and NDLI. And second option is you can actually filter down your results based on your multiple filters. You can filter down and then narrow down your results. That is not available in Google. And the most important part is government has started procuring uh, national licenses. As I mentioned earlier, the World eBook Library and South Asia Archives, these two resources have been already procured under the national licensing from the government, Ministry of MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and they have given it to us. And now it is available for every Indian citizens at free of cost. And what is the big picture? So the big picture is the Swayam Prabha, NPTEL, NDLI, these are all supplementary and complementary educational learning materials. So already there is a provision for augmenting around 20 credits from NPTEL to your course, regular course. So that provision is already there for students. And maybe in 5 years time or 10 years time, there may be a provision that if you have your mobile phone and if you're interested in learning anything, you can enroll for a program, or whether it's a small certificate program or a diploma program or a UG and PG program, you can pursue it. So that may be available in the future. So now let us see the last section, which is how to operate NDLA club. So Ms. Vandana, are you already a part of NDLA club or no?
No, sir, no.
Okay. So what is the objective of NDLA club? So the objective is to create the culture of reading among the entire citizens of the country and take the knowledge resource of NDLA to every Indian citizen. So that is the objective. So with that objective, what we have proposed is from one student from each class and one faculty member from each department. Each librarian as ex officio secretary and principal as the ex officio chairman of the club. So this is the composition. You identify these members and then get the list approved by the principal, and then upload it on the NDLA club registration URL. So there is a URL Google form which we have created, and then you have to just upload this file. Once you register, we issue a certificate of registration that is valid for 1 year. So within that 1 year, what you need to do is identify and register whoever is interested in joining NDLA, the students and the faculty members. You have to I get their email ID, first name and last name in this format, email ID, first name and last name, and then collate all their details and then send it to our email ID, which is ndl-support@iitkgp.ac.in, with copy to vignesh@ndl.gov.in and vigneshjnu@gmail.com. So you have to send it to us, and then we do a bulk registration of all of them, and then they have to verify their email, and then they are set to go. So what are you going to get is uh, for doing this, you will get additional 1 or 2 points when AICT or NAC comes for visit. So that is additional benefit the college institution gets. Alternatively, if you are interested, if you want to tell about NDLA to your friends or family members who are not in the educational domain, they can also register individually. And for that, they have to go to the home page, and on the bottom you have an option called register. Just click on that register button, and then you can register them by filling a small form, verify the account, and then you are all set to go. So this is the process for doing individual registration. So the first part is registration of all the students and faculty members. That is the first part. And the second part is you have to conduct at least 10 reading or knowledge related activities. Some of the activities which we have listed is, it could be a lecture series or a quiz competition or a storytelling session or a go fish kind of an activity, film screening, drawing competition, role play, writing competition, maker space, or debate. So, and you have to upload the activities on our portal. So we review the activities, each activities, and also we see that and we report it to MHRD about various activities. So these are the activities being conducted by various NDLA clubs across the country. So we have also started conducting reading Olympiads. NDLA reading Olympiad, we conducted it on very small scale at one district called Coimbatore. We did a Coimbatore district Olympiad, and it was a very good experience for the students as well as for the uh, faculty members also. So, and then we gave them a rolling trophy. So now we are looking at scaling up this initiative to state and national level as well. And also we are looking at incentivizing the best performing NDLA club at the district, state, and national level as well. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you. And if you have any questions, you can put it on the chat, and then they can I will reply to your questions on the chat itself. So thank you once again to the management of MIT and the librarian Ms. Vandana also. So any questions,
Thank
you can
you,
put it
sir.
on the chat and I will respond to. Yeah.
Is there any question? Please, is there any question? Please write in question box, please. Hello, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
But
Question asked by the Manoj Balwankar sir. Can we get the research paper on nanotechnology?
Yes. Can we
hello.
get the research papers on nanotechnology? Yes, it's possible. So what you can go to our app and then search for the topic and apply for the filter of technology. Then you will technology as well as natural sciences. Then you will get the research papers from on the topic of nanotechnology. Yes, it's available. And then the next question is, I'm going through the site, but topic specific filter is not there. Kavikant Mahabatra. So I didn't get your questions. Topic specific filter is not there means, so here we may not have specific topic. So what we have classified our content is based on the DDC. Say for example, if it's from say management, it may come under technology filter. So you need to understand which DDC classification topic is covered under your topic. So you, primarily for engineering, it will come under either under computer science or technology or natural sciences. So these are the three subject categories you will get it.
Sir, am I audible, sir? Hello.
Yes, yes, you are.
Sir, my question was basically when I was going through this site, NDL, I am already registered. I was registered. I registered long time back when I was in the Navy and was teaching.
Okay. Okay.
And what I'm seeing is that when I go to technology, I did three filters. I did technology level of education level, and then difficulty level and educational level. So I get a plethora of different topics. Say if I want to have an article, I'm not able to filter out exactly. Then I have to go through, say, even if there are 200 articles coming here. Now going through all these 200 articles to exactly find which is my choice of article I'm finding it slightly difficult. Otherwise, if I put a topic, say vibration of plates. So in Google I get vibration of plates as a I get almost everything related to vibration of plates. Here what is happening is you are getting even if you are talking of natural sciences and all, you are getting chemistry also, you are getting physics topics also, and
Hmm.
from those 200 particles, you have to actually search which is the article suitable to you. My question was
Okay.
that there is no topic
Yeah,
specific search is not available with me here.
I got your point. So first thing is, I think now the technical team is working on the difficulty level and then educational degree filter. So my humble submission to you is apply for the subject category first filter, then you
Sir,
will narrow down the results and then go to the source. Suppose if your source is
sir.
listed there, say for example, you know the major source where the content comes from, then
Yes,
you
sir.
will get relevant topic and from the relevant source. Otherwise, you will have, say for example, like Google, we also have this mechanism of searching everything on the uh, repository. So something from chemistry will also come, something from management will also come. So
Right.
apply the subject category and the source filter, then you will have the relevant resource. So that is my submission. Yes, there is some problem with the filter of educational level, degree, and the difficulty level. These three filters are slightly creating confusion. So I have requested my technical team to rectify that error. I think soon that will be rectified. And
So
the
yeah,
next
because
question
I,
is coming.
what I'm finding here is source also there are three sources out here, sir. CSIR, QSAT, and
Mhm.
NIT for a educational degree of BTech, that is Bachelor of Technology.
So yeah, as I mentioned, the educational degree, educational level, and the difficulty level. So kindly remove
Sir.
these three filters, then you will be able to get the desired results.
Okay.
So kindly check
Okay.
for that option. And the thank you for the question, sir. And the next question is, login details are required for getting research data. Yes. So one-time registration is mandatory for everyone to use it. This is for copyright, non-copyright violation issues, because if anybody downloads the URL and a resource and then if they use it for commercial purposes, so Government of India has requested us to have a minimum requirement of at least verifying their email ID. Registered users details should be verified. So that for that mechanism, we have created this registration process mandatory for downloading the resources. And the
Sir,
next
can I
question is
answer?
on.
Hello.
Yeah,
Ah,
tell me.
Maya, please.
Sir, this means we have to pay for yearly. Means what kind of membership? Means this login details are as per our normal login ID, or we have to pay for what kind of matlab?
See, as I mentioned, like 75% of resources are full text only. Okay.
Okay.
And we are not taking any single penny from anyone. For example,
Okay.
IEEE resources, we only have metadata. Metadata is we only have abstract. We don't have full text. Suppose if you want to subscribe, then your institution can subscribe directly from IEEE, and we cannot do anything with the subscription. We don't get into any financials with any institution.
But I just search for some material right now. I'm getting the
Mhm.
text, but it asks me that to open this, you have the restrictions. You have to do login. So once I do the login, again
I lost your voice.
Hello. Maya madam, are you there? Hello.
hello.
Maya madam, are you there? No? Hello.
Hello.
Are you
Ma'am.
there?
Yes, yes.
Please continue, ma'am.
When I
Last
do
part, yeah.
when I do the login credential, after that it asks that you don't have the rights to download this subscription.
So can you
So it
tell
asks
me who is the source? Is it from IEEE or
I
Springer?
it's just a minute.
Yeah.
It's not IEEE, it's a Springer.
Okay. Springer and IEEE, we only have abstract. So you have
Okay.
to either institution can take the membership or you can take an individual membership. We don't get into the financials of Springer or IEEE.
Okay. Okay, fine, sir.
We
Fine.
only
Thank you.
have abstract, so you can download it.
Okay, okay, sir. No issue.
Okay, can I get the journal papers based on impact factor ranking of journals for the specific topic? So we don't have the impact factor tool yet. So our team is working on it. So maybe few months down the line, we will have this impact factor figured in the research in the journals, respective journals, and then you can appropriately download. Currently, we don't have the journal impact factors. Thank you. Any other questions?
Hello, Dr. Vignesh.
Yes.
Huh. I have already done bulk registration around 1500 students and faculty.
Okay.
So then what is next? And from where I can explore NDL club page?
Okay. So first thing is how you have registered, but how many of them have activated their account? How many of them have logged in and used the resources?
Sir, recently I have uploaded user ID and mail ID and faculty name, faculty and
First name
student's
and
name.
last.
First
Yeah,
name
yeah,
and
I
last
got
name.
it.
Yeah.
So you must have done it through your panel, admin panel,
Yeah.
or your
Yeah.
nodal
Admin
person.
panel. Admin panel.
There are from there itself you can find out how many of them have activated it, right?
Okay. 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 Okay.
So you can find out how many of them have verified their account and how many of them have not. See, the
Okay.
major problem we face is like you register them, but student may not be aware whether they got the email or not. So what you can do is you can call
Okay.
them one by class or by department, and then
Okay.
help them in activating their account. So that is where the first step lies. And for regarding the NDLA club, so as I mentioned in the presentation, you can identify one student from each class and one faculty member from every department, and then librarian as the ex-officio secretary, principal or the head of the institution as the
Yeah.
chairman of
Yeah.
the club. Form the club, and then you have
Right.
to upload it. I will in this presentation you can you take out that URL and then apply, and the next process I will reply in the mail. So that is there.
Okay. Fine. Fine.
Okay.
Is there any question from the audience? Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Vignesh. Your lecture was very informative and fruitful for all of us. Dr. Vignesh briefed us about the NDL, various content available at NDLI, how to access NDL resources effectively, difference between NDLI and Google, and lastly, NDLI Club, etc. I'm very much grateful to Dr. Vignesh, who accepted our invitation and delivered such a wonderful lecture. So once again, I thank you for giving us your precious time. I would express my sincere thanks to Honorable Director, sir, who has allowed me to organize this webinar. Thank you so much, sir, for never-ending support to us. I would like to express my gratitude to our deans, faculty members, staff, and students for their participation. Last but not least, I thank you to the organizing team of the GoToWebinar. It would not have been possible without their help. Special thanks to Miss Mayuri. So
Thank
once
you, ma'am.
again, thank you all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Vignesh.
Thank you everyone for your kind participation. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Shall I close, ma'am?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.